Welcome to Prince Jordan House. Exercise number 123, 140 words a minute. Sir Happy Singh. Ready? Start. Honorable members are aware of the unfortunate situation that has developed as a result of the prolonged strike of junior doctors in Delhi and the attempts by some misguided elements to pressurize government by disreputing the process of medical education and medical care in the country. With your permission, sir, I am laying on the table of the House a detailed note which gives the background of the junior doctors strike in Delhi and details the steps that government have taken no meet their demands. Without taking much time of the House, I would like to point out that government has made handsome increases in the emoluments of the junior doctors, going up to as much as 100% in some categories over the last 1 year, as shown in the attached statement, and has also made a number of other clarifications in their favor. It is a matter for deep regret that the junior doctors have not reciprocated this gesture and continue to be adamant. I am sure the House will agree that while the lot of junior doctors needs to be improved, a concurrent responsibility devolves upon them to fulfill the pledge that they have taken when they graduated and to maintain the noble traditions of the medical profession. The present strike has caused a great deal of avoidable suffering to large sections of the population in and around Delhi, Chandigarh, and Pondicherry, the burden of which has fallen particularly on the weaker and more vulnerable sections of society who can ill afford the services of private medical practitioners. This has gone on for too long, and I would, on the floor of this House, repeat my appeal to the rank and file of the junior doctors to accept the offer made by government and return to work immediately. A dialogue on their remaining problems can always continue. May I, sir, take this opportunity to place on record my deep appreciation of the services rendered by the junior doctors and the CGHS doctors in very difficult circumstances. Without their untiring efforts, the adverse impact upon the general public would have been much greater. They have bearing a very heavy burden, and government has already taken steps to recruit some fresh doctors. If the striking doctors continue to default on their responsibilities, we will be left with no choice but to make permanent alternative arrangements so that the hospitals can be brought back to the normal level of functioning. Apart from the problem in central institutions, I have been greatly perturbed at the continuing unrest among medical students and junior doctors in various parts of the country. Partly, of course, this is a reflection of the generalization of the tensions that have become a worldwide phenomenon and of the fact that in a developing society like ours, social change and economic frustration combine to create explosive situations. But it is also clear that the whole system of medical education needs to be restructured and streamlined in order to make it more effective instrument for meeting the growing requirements of our people. Medical education must become an integral part of a broad health manpower development policy so that the heavy investments made therein bring a commensurate return to society, especially to the weaker sections and those living in rural areas. With this intention, government is actively considering the setting up of a high-powered medical education commission which will look into entire problem on a national basis and make a study in a depth of the various aspects of restructuring medical education from the pre-medical right up to the postgraduate standards. There are two ways in which this problem can be finally solved. One is a long range and the other is of a short range. Now, as a long range solution, I mentioned on the floor of the House that the government had decided to set up medical education commission because the very system of medical education that we have now adopted and that we have inherited very largely from the British involves a good deal of strain and pressure upon these junior doctors. That is not a new thing that we have introduced. The British system of education, which has been extended in India for many decades, required that these junior doctors to go through a very though time in order to get their postgraduate degrees and their further specialization. So this problem cannot, sir, really be fully solved unless the matter is looked at from a national point of view, and the problem is looked upon by a really competent commission, and it is for this reason that this medical education commission that we intend to set up is going to go into all these matters very carefully and is going to see that can be done to make medical education more responsive to the needs of the nation. Many people sitting in this house represent rural areas. We have a particular situation in which all the doctors are very largely concentrated in the urban areas. Stop.